first and foremost, I'd like to disclose that I am personally invested in Baba. So this news was kind of like a good positive note for me. So what actually happened is Charlie Munger, as you all know, he's the right-hand man of the legendary Warren Buffett. He has actually doubled down on his investment in Baba this week. So the mandatory filing revealed that Munger's initial shares of 165,000 in Baba has now increased to about 102,000 shares in the third quarter of 2021. So essentially, it's almost doubling. I think he bought at a price of 148, if I'm not wrong. All right. And now his current Alibaba investment is almost valued at $50 million. And this is almost 20% of his entire portfolio. So Charlie Munger has only 5 stocks inside. And Alibaba is actually is one of them. It's only 20% of his portfolio. And I think you guys, investing veterans, you should know, like, as a beginner investor, they always say a general rule of thumb is you should not put like 5% of your total capital into any one stock or crypto or whatever investment, right? But I quote Warren Buffett, he said that diversification is actually protection against ignorance. Right? It makes very little sense for those who know what we are doing.
Diversified.
Yeah. So Charlie Munger, being his right-hand man, I guess he followed suit. So he doubled down and he went even more into Alibaba. So this shows me, right, that it just proves how confident he is in China market, and that everything now that is happening in the Chinese market is actually just short-term noise and short-term volatility, and that he believes in the long intrinsic value of the stock over the long run. Probably 3, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know when it's going to become, but he knows that ultimately it's going to go there soon. So I know there's a lot of schools of thought here, right? And is this a potential for reversal, or are we headed for more downwinds? And I feel that the price now is currently heavily discounted, right? I think mainly due to the delisting risks, the VIE structure, and also more importantly on how the state, is handling all the Chinese businesses. So in my view, personally, I feel that Alibaba is already a staple in the Chinese economy, and that it's only time would take it further in the future. So I'm holding on to my stock with, diamond hands or whatever you call it. But there's also another side, the other camp who says that this is only the beginning, right? And, Chinese companies in the end, they're going to suffer even more consequences. The Chinese government is trying to control a lot more. But I feel that ultimately this is meant for their own good. And this is just my view. What do you guys think?
Got it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot to digest, right? So, Charlie Munger went in, of course, the legendary guy that he is, not listening to his main man's information, but I think with regards to that, it's not just about Alibaba though, right? I think the thing you're bringing up here is the fact of time horizon and investment, right? And as of now, you see it as a small blip. Yeah. Whether it be a U-shape or a V-shape recovery or whatever it is, it's a blip, and therefore we see China going up and up, right? I guess that's the argument you're making. And I agree, right? I think, in a couple of stock market updates that we did last, we talked a bit about Kathy Wood and how she effectively doubled down on JD.com during this blip, right when the volatility started. Yeah. And we all know what's going on in China right now. Too much volatility, a lot of confidence loss even from the West, right? Yeah. And of course, we've got the Evergrande position. We're still waiting on a few different things here, but that's where it is now. And market leaders or market speculators, if you want to call it that, take advantage of these situations. And I think that's what he's doing, because I honestly have confidence that China is doing what it's doing to protect itself and to have growth. So if you're looking at it just purely on that point of view, and it's a bit high level sometimes, for our users, as opposed to, just focusing on the numbers. But if you look at that and in a 1, 2, 3, 5-year horizon, I see it as a very positive thing. And I think good on you for going into Alibaba. Yeah. And Anthony, what do you think?
I don't know, right? I actually, I'm also a shareholder, and so I'm hoping for a rocket ship up, but I don't really agree. I think, look, Chinese changes, great for society. Cutting monopolistic profits, being more competitive, fantastic. Alibaba, fantastic company, great business, market leader, strong moats, right? Lovely. The problem I have with this is this, right? Under the new Chinese system, you are going to not be able to be as profitable as before. Or if you are, you make donations to society, which takes away from the profits you have for shareholders. And I think that is maybe where the distinction lies. Like, yes, it's a great company, love it, love the products, you love using it, but I don't know whether it's the best investment or it's going to be 2 times or 3 times in the next 5 years. And I mean, just thinking about Baba, this to me, this is Munger going back to his roots. It's a value play now. There are days of 50, 100% revenue growth are over. It's slow and steady, 20% a year, which is still great. Trying to defend what they have from the Meituans and all that, which is also fantastic. But I mean, it's a nice conservative position to have. I think it's not something that will be rip roaring and you'll make 5 times in 2 years.
Yep.
Got it. Now, I think that's fair, right? But the question I have for you here is, do you think there's an arbitrage, right? So, for example, it's dipped right now because of confidence issues, as opposed to anything to do with the numbers, right? Of course, the volatility and all of that. So maybe he's trying to make on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a 10-year horizon. Probably not. But
I don't think so either. Yes.
But I think it's maybe. Look, I think that there's a real confidence issue, and that these are real regulatory risks. VIE maybe not so much. It's tail end, but these are risks that could really blow up, and there's real uncertainty. So I mean, it's a gamble, I think. Right? I can't say for certain, and I don't know if anybody can say for certain how it will resolve. But as it stands, it doesn't look like it will resolve too much in favor in the way of a company making gangster returns. Yeah, but that's just me being contrarian.
The good old days.
Yeah, back to the good old days of a year ago.
Yeah, but this is great. Like we have, different perspectives on this also. Yeah, and I also feel that there one other risk is, like Rakesh, you mentioned, the confidence levels. Can confidence in China stocks even, be back to where it was originally? Because if, the CCP is able to do this to the companies just on a whim like that, like what makes you think that they won't do it again in the future? So this is another risk that people should be aware of also, right? Because ultimately, the Chinese companies are all have to follow the CCP rules now.